Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy Recker, and I am a higher self alchemist. And today I want to talk about the battle between good and evil. This is something that comes up for me and as well as for some of my clients and sessions. And it's a place where we really get stuck with being able to create our reality. If you are innerly really focusing on creating that reality, whether it's the money, the love partner, the success, the clients, the fun, the joy, the peace, whatever it is, okay? If inside of you, you're focused on that and you can really feel it, it's already been created. But when it comes to it reflecting into your outer reality, you have to really be aware of what you're focusing on. If you're really focusing on this energy of duality that exists in this 3D world that we currently call home, then you will manifest what you have created within you in the energy of duality, depending on what you're focusing more on. So in your outer reality, you're focused more on what's not working, what's who is who you believe is in the way of you having that. So this could be governments, corporations, people, bosses, other coworkers, family, anything really. So when you're in your day-to-day, where are you focusing? Are you focusing more on what's not working or what's on working? And this is an energy of duality. And there has been some energy around this idea of escaping this energy of duality, and that we don't need it, that it's the battle between good and evil. But duality is that's like a pin size, the top of a pin idea of what duality is. Duality is what gives you choice. Now, I did a whole video on what choice is and how choice creates and shapes your reality, not just in this lifetime, but throughout all of your higher selves lifetimes through many time and periods. And duality is just another piece of that. Duality is what gives us choice. Without duality, there would not be choice. We would not have an option A or an option B. If you listen to any Abraham Hicks or Law of Attraction, she talks about contrast all the time. And that's what duality is. It is allowing contrast to come into your life so you can see what you want and what you don't want, and then be able to make the appropriate choice for you based on your own soul's path and your own goals and your own vision as to what you feel more aligned to, and choosing that and then creating your reality from that. So duality is, in essence, that container. Sometimes we focus more on the idea that duality is good versus evil, but duality is so much more than that. And without it, our lives would be pretty much standard. There would be no originality, no individuality. We would all have and do and have the same thing. And I like variety, so that's not my thing. But back to duality. So once you have created your reality within you and you can really feel the excitement of having it, when you're in your outside world, if you're focusing more on like I said, the things that are going wrong versus the things that are going right, then you are going to manifest more things going wrong with getting you what you want than if you were focusing on what's going right. You would get more things that are getting you to move forward on your path to having your heart's desires and the reality that you're creating. But one of the sticking points with duality that I really want to get into this, that kind of goes beyond where do you put your focus, whether it's on what's not working or what is this idea of the battle between good and evil. Through many, 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 many lifetimes, we have been trained to believe that there's this battle between good and evil. There is nothing outside of us that is not within ourselves. So if there's a battle between good and evil, it's within you. And you have to work on why that battle exists. Now, this could be between a version of yourself that's been created in order to protect yourself so that people don't see who you truly are, what your gifts are, what your knowledge is, what you know, even though you may not have spoke it, but you know. Through so many lifetimes, we've been persecuted, hunted, traumatized, abused, beaten. We've watched others go through it that are friends and family, and it has created so much wounding that we have this tension to push against what we see as evil, because it has not been good to us for tens of thousands of years. But in this timeline we're in now, we have an opportunity that we have not had in a very long time, where we get to heal those so that we can step away from this idea of this good and evil swing. And in doing this and focusing on needing to fight people outside of ourselves who you feel may be taking away your freedom, who feel like you can't have peace as long as they're here, that they'll prosecute you, or that they're doing things that you would rather them not do. These all start within you. Those people are just playing a role in the reality that you have created. Now, from a collective consciousness, there are groups of people that we have agreed to create this with, and that's called tribal consciousness, which is a whole other video. But we have this identity where we need to have a boogeyman. There has to be a boogeyman as to why we can't have what we want. We have to have X person leave, or X corporation no longer exist, or this person has to leave your life, or whatever it is, in order for you to be who Creator created you to be and have what you want. But you create your reality. No one else does. And everything outside of you is just playing the movie that you have created within you based on your beliefs and your energetic trauma and emotional triggers. And because these people are just playing roles for you, and they're not going to change because they can't change. They are literally operating based on the beliefs and the script that you have given them and how you believe they will act in your reality. So in order to get them to change, you need to change. We each need to look at why we have been creating that. And so instead of focusing on, all this energy towards things that we have been taught or have gotten to believe are evil, we have to really look at what role that is playing in our lives. Why are we manifesting it? And when you look at that, you will go to another timeline where that is either changing or no longer exists. Everything is about the frequency that you are tuning to, and none of the players that are in your reality are actually doing anything to you. It's just based on the beliefs that you have and energetic trauma and emotional triggers that keep you manifesting that behavior from them. So throughout the years, we've been taught that duality is this good versus evil. And it goes to, I was raised Roman Catholic, that is definitely in there. And in many religions, it's in there, as well as culture. So it's more than just like what's happening currently in this timeline. It's been through many, 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 many times. And because we have this good versus evil issue, we are not actually using duality to our advantage. Duality is not supposed to be something that's used against us. And that's how we've been programmed to believe, that duality is something we need to fight It's something that is going against us, that takes away our freedom, our peace, our abundance, all of the things, when really it's a tool that Source gave us in order to experience life on planet Earth in what is currently the 3D. So now it's time to take your power back and remember what duality really is and what it actually is giving you as a gift for you to understand how to change within you so that your duality or contrast that you're seeing is not just on these extremes of good and evil. There's like a middle place. But the more you focus on there being evil in the world, let's say, and it doesn't mean that it disappears. There's always going to be contrast. It's just on how you choose to react to it and how you say, okay, do I have a part in that? What is my part in creating that? And this is where the past life stuff comes in. I'm trying to come up with an example of this. So one of the things that happened in Atlantis when some of us were coming out of Lemuria, there was a time period where Lemuria and Atlantis were in existence together. And during that time, there was a lot of trauma from the Lemurians who lived in balance with Earth and the universe. Abundance was just is. There wasn't lack unless someone consciously was choosing that, and everyone gets the choice to do that. But it wasn't like, I don't want to say forced on it, but lack wasn't the default. So many of us had all the wealth that we needed. Everyone had it. Everyone had whatever level they wanted. And that is the choice of their soul. But when we came out of Lemuria and Atlantis really started to bring in more of the money systems we know today, hierarchy, patriarchy, we start to get some problems going on with the energy of duality between lack and abundance. And one of the things that happened was they made those of us who had abundance feel guilty about having it, telling us that it was selfish. I had seen images of people knocking on their doors and taking things and bringing them to other people, and then making me or my client feel bad about the fact that we had more than others, and that having more than others was going against God. And then you start to see where some of this programming comes from, where we then are manifesting it now. But now we're in such an extreme of lack and abundance from a duality standpoint that many of us don't even know what it's like to be in this energy of abundance just is, which is this inner knowing that you are abundance. And then abundance is your choice to experience, and that is all you are. We're getting there, okay? But from a duality standpoint, yourself have to work on why certain extremes of contrast exist in your reality. And some of the things that come up, you're not going to have any part in. But if you ask yourself, is there a part that I need to heal for this so that this can get out of my reality and it's no longer a thing? Then you need to work on healing that. Now, this is part of what I do as part of Higher Self Alchemy with my private clients, as well as some of the coursework that I'll have coming in the future. So that we are not reincarnating and creating the same cycles over and over and over and over and over again, where we are fighting this battle between good and evil, where we're so focused on trying to get certain people to leave or for things to change outside of ourselves that we're holding ourselves back within, saying, oh, I can't have what I really want inside of me until XYZ happens. But when we do that, we'll never get out of that. Because again, those people are just playing roles based on your beliefs. They're not going to change for you. There's no one who has to take responsibility for that or account for that. They're just playing a role in the script that you've created based on your beliefs, emotional triggers, and energetic trauma that you have experienced in many lifetimes. This thing keeps going in and out of my head as something they want me to talk about this, and I keep losing it. Well, let's see if it comes back again. I need to just like break free from what I'm saying when it comes through, but it's super important. You're the only one who can change the script of how your reality shows itself to you. If you are waiting for something to change outside of yourself first, from this energy of duality, good and evil, or bad versus not good, lack versus abundance, powerless versus empowerment, it does not start outside of you. We've been led to believe that the people outside of us need to change first before we can have what we want, that they will always be a barrier to what we want, or they'll take it away if we get it. But really, that's just beliefs that we've been programmed through energetic trauma, traumatic events through time. And we are unknowingly torturing ourselves or sabotaging ourselves because we're waiting for that to happen, versus us doing the healing work inside of ourselves and then changing the script. Once we change the script and the beliefs and the trauma and all that's gone, then the script change and the people will change around you. How they act around you, how they respond to you, how well they treat you will change. I've seen this in my own life. I've seen it in other clients' life where they're like, how did this, what happened? Like, I don't understand. Like, this person didn't do anything different. All as I did was change. And yes, because they're operating based on your beliefs. And it's happened even on like a less personal level for me, where certain companies or even outcomes have changed that were not expected. So instead of putting all your energy towards trying to fight something, or getting people to do something outside of you so that you can have something, you need to first look at yourself. Like, why did you create this? Poverty was not something that we were supposed to experience on Earth. It's only through this programming that we've gotten ourselves to believe that it is a choice. Somewhere along the line, it was chosen to be an experience, whether we experienced poverty ourselves or whether we had poverty around us. And when you start to work through why those things are, you then start to push the energy of poverty out. So then you create a reality where that's not a thing. That's how powerful you are. You get to say, no, I've worked through all the stuff around poverty, and now I'm going to create a world and align with a reality where poverty doesn't exist. Now, we have to kind of be careful, because some people might choose to have what we view as poverty, but poverty comes from a place of powerlessness. Someone chooses to have less than you. It may appear as poverty, but it's their choice to experience it from a place of empowerment. It's entirely different. And now I remember the thing that they wanted me to tell you. So a lot of us actually have this good and evil thing where we're fighting against certain factions of reality, be it governments, corporations, big oil, big ag, whatever, because we have had a part in creating that reality in another lifetime. Not everything that you've done in past lives are necessarily good. Now, sometimes this stuff happens, we're not really clear on what the agenda is, and we shared information, or we created something that we had this vision for, and then someone else may have changed it to then do something that wasn't good. Or maybe you knew. But I find that a lot of the times, the things that we're fighting against, the things that we see wrong with, say, pollution, or the desecration of Mother Earth, or taking away our freedoms, and big ag, are actually things that we had a part in creating in another life. And now we are, it's kind of like karma, where we're now experiencing the effect of what we've changed. There's an energy of punishment in there, but nobody's punishing you but you. You may have vows and contracts that say that you have to punish yourself for creating this. And now you're creating it in this reality, and it can never go away in your reality until you address the traumatic events that have happened in past lives that are allowing that to exist in your reality. Nothing can exist in your reality unless you believe in it. So in this energy of duality, we are being shown contrast on what we want and what we don't want. But many of us get so lost in that, we focus so much on what's not working, or what people or what things outside of ourselves that are preventing us from having what we want, whether it's banks, jobs, money, partners, whatever it is, that we lose or have lost through many centuries, and knowing that we are creating the script that they're operating on, and that it is in our power to consciously create a reality where those things don't exist. You want cleaner food? You have to work on believing that that is a possibility within you, and you will manifest a reality where that exists. But we have so many systems and structures that have taken advantage of this duality swing that we have, that have gotten us to believe that we have no power over our food, energy, the healing of earth, all of those things, that it's something outside of ourselves. It's not, it's you, us. Each one of us has a part in this. This world did not get created by one person. It was created by a whole group, and it requires us all to look at that and to be able to shift those. And then when we shift those, you shift to that new reality where these things don't exist anymore. And we get back to, they're saying, get back to the basics and how we were meant to be on Earth. And it starts with you really examining these pieces. And the duality piece is something that does come up a lot during sessions, where people feel that they can't have or do anything until these people leave, or they've been banished from Earth, whatever. But as long as you believe that that's what you need, you'll manifest it again till the cows come home, because it is a reflection of your own belief within you. When you change the belief within you that says, I can be whoever the hell I want, regardless of who's on this planet, and that I will only attract to myself those people of my frequency or higher, then none of that matters. It gets like weeded out, becomes background static, and eventually it goes away, because it's not in your frequency. Your antenna, which by the way is your body, cannot hear it anymore. So where are you focusing on the wrong things? Where are you giving your power away to this energy of duality and contrast that is, one, causing you to repeat these cycles over and over again, but also preventing you from being able to jump to that new reality? The new reality that you have within you is in a frequency where none of those things exist that you don't want, right? You yourself, you got your money, your career, or abundance, your fun, your joy, your freedom, all those things. If you have I don't know what the word is. If you have beliefs that go against that in your outer reality, it's going to be really hard for you to be able to get to that frequency. They don't work together, and it does not just transpire over from your inner to your outer. You have to have the cobwebs of that removed so that you can experience what it's like to have freedom in all aspects of your life. And when you do that, you'll start to project these beliefs of that you can have freedom in all parts of life, regardless of what's going on outside of you. And then you manifest and align with that reality that you've created within you. You can't put the cart before the horse. You can't just, it doesn't work. You can't just force your inner into the outer. You have to work on the things in your outer reality and the things that you are seeing for yourself as proof as to why you can't have all the things that you want, when even those things are just either trauma or even distractions, or that are creating doubt that are preventing you from having that. So I hope you get something out of that. But the call really is for you to work on why you can't walk away from millennia of cycles of with the same people, the same circumstances, the same need to fight over whether it's the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, Atlantis, the US government, Canadian government, English government, wherever, doesn't matter, where you're constantly reincarnating these cycles where you're in this energy of powerlessness and waiting for the world to change before you allow yourself to be who you came here to be. In order to break that, you need to look at where you're getting stuck with duality, where you're allowing outside things to prevent you from being able to manifest the reality that you really want, and allowing that to override the default setting that you've had for a long time, so that you can start to reap the benefits of the reality that is trying to come to you. You deserve it. It is yours. It's just you've got some conflicting things going on. And when you start to shift those, you start to see, oh, this really was me all along, and it isn't anyone else. And then you start to feel like you have control over your reality, which is also something that many people are trying to manifest without maybe knowing it, this idea that you feel like you have more control over what happens to you. And that happens when you start to shift your beliefs and your triggers, but also where you focus. So do you find yourself focusing more on what's not working, or not just maybe in your own life, but out in the outer reality? Or are you focused on what's working? Now, it doesn't mean that sometimes you're going to have days where you're just like, freaking whatever. Okay, they happen, you're human, okay? But if you're majority of the time you're focused on what's working more, you're gonna get more of that, okay? So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel so that this gets to more people and you get notification on when I release my next video, okay? Hope you have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.